What's up, everyone? Zach here, bringing you another Team Taste deck profile. And today I'm bringing you our first Unbroken Bonds deck profile. And I'm bringing you my favorite so far, and it is Baby Blacephalon. Now, we went for a straight consistency build, and this definitely has some drawbacks, but we've been tweaking this a whole bunch over the last week or two, and I have it where I really like it right now. Um, there's definitely some drawbacks, but we'll get to them while we go through it. So our Pokemon line is 4 baby Blacephalons. So Blacephalon for a fire energy blazer, it does 10 plus 50. You get to flip over a prize card, and if it's a fire energy, it does 50 more. So you can hit 60 damage, turn 1 with 1 attachment, which sometimes sets up numbers, but usually you're using it if you miss a welder or you need a green search or green's exploration turn 1 or something along those lines. But what makes this card so good is Fireball Circus. So for 3 fire energies, it does 50 times, and you can discard as many fire energy cards from your hand, and it does 50 times the number of energies you've discarded in that way. And that can add up so quickly. You can be hitting tag teams turn 1 for knockout, which we've done before, or you can, just chip away at the bigger targets, and it only gives up 1 prize, so it's a great card. And as for Pokemon, that is all we're playing. I'm just playing 4 Blacephalon. We had the Turninator in it that does 50 times the number of energies on your field that you can discard, but every time we were playing with that, it felt like, oh, I wish this was a Blacephalon. So we're just going with 4 Blacephalon, and that's it. So most of our games that we lose with this, it feels like we're losing because we're getting benched. So obviously you kind of want more Pokemon in it, but I still don't know. Like, you could play the Victini Prism, but I don't want the energies back in the deck, and it doesn't hit hard enough late. This just always seems to hit hard enough what I want. Maybe I need to add a couple more ball search cards, but let's move on along. So our supporters, we have 4 welder. You can attach 2 fire energies from your hand and then draw 3 cards. This is what makes Blacephalon work so well. It is just such a good card. Being able to attach 3 energies turn 1 is amazing, and it just sets up so many possibilities. And then our other supporters, we have 4 greens exploration. Search your deck for 2 trainer cards as long as you don't have any abilities on your side of the field, and you don't because Blacephalon is the only Pokemon on your side of the field ever. And then we also have 3 Bills Analysis. We really only have these in here because you can't play more Greens Exploration. If you could, you want to play Greens over Bills because you can get any 2 trainers. Bills is just the top 7, and you get to pick 2 trainers. But it's still decent usually. But as of for supporters, this is all we have. So it's just a streamline, go deck, and we have a hefty amount of trainer or items to supplement it. And then we're also playing 1 Heat Factory. You can play Power Plant if you want, but this build is really what I'm just trying to worry about knocking anything out in front of me that I can. And this is all about straight consistency. And getting on into the items, we have 4 fire crystals. Put 3 fire energies from the discard pile to your hand. So the main goal of the deck is to get all the fire energy into the discard so you can start looping it. So we got the 4 fire crystals and 4 energy retrievals. Just like I said, maximum consistency, go. We just want to be able to draw into everything we need. And then we also have 3 fiery flints. Discard 2 cards from your hand and search for 4 fire energy. This could be a 4 count, but it seems like you only want to play 1, maybe 2 in a game. A lot of times you're finding it with Green's Exploration or Bills. So 3 fire flints feels like enough most of the time. And then we have 4 Ness Bowl. So that's our search cards. We just want to be able to get our Blacephalons out so we don't get donked or don't get benched. Maybe I want to throw in another like Ultra Ball or something in there so we don't get benched. but it feels like it's been enough. Then we have 4 Pokegear 3.0s. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck and pick a supporter there. So that synergizes well with getting the welder, and that's what you want to do most of the time to set up. And then another fun thing or synergy that we have with Green's exploration is we have 4 custom catchers. So custom catcher, you can play 2 at the same time and pull out a Pokemon on your opponent's side of the field, on your opponent's bench. So we started with having Guzmas in here, and we quickly found that it was trash having Guzmas. Like, you can't Guzma and then like switch out of the active if your Blacephalon that you need to use is an active. So we just have 4 custom catchers instead of the Guzma, and you can find them easy with Green's exploration. A lot of times you have 1 custom catcher in your hand, so you can Greens for the other custom catcher and something else, but it's just a great card with some great synergies with Greens. And then we also have 2 Beast Rings. I feel like that's enough, especially paired with our 2 Wishful Batons. We're trying to keep the energy out there if we can. It's not the most important thing, but the Wishful Batons is nice so you don't have to always play Welder. And the Beast Rings are great. You can find them with the Greens, so they knock out 2 of your Blacephalons. You can Greens for Beast Ring and like a custom catcher, so you can double custom catcher and Beast Ring on the same turn. It's really great. And then we have 1 Rescue Stretcher. If usually you want to use it to shuffle back in 2 Blacephalons. Sometimes you get into a situation where you have to pick 1 out of the discard and bench it, but in against like other 1 prize decks, you usually need all 6 Blacephalon, so shuffling 2 back in is all you need. And then rounding out the items, we have Pail Pad, which has some great synergy with Pokegear. If you need a welder and you have Pail Pad in your hand and a Pokegear, you can Pail Pad in the welder or 2 welders and try to hit it. Especially late game, you can find what you need. If you need another Greens, you can Pail Pad in 2 Greens and Pokegear. So it's really just in there because sometimes you don't have enough supporters. And then that's really it for any of the fun cards. We're playing 15 Fire Energy. Now, we were testing it with a Beast Energy, especially because Blacephalon's the only Pokemon, so you can always attach it. But it just always felt like if that was a Fire Energy, it was fine. We really want to just get going, and you can't recycle the Beast Energy, where the 15 Fire Energies you can constantly recycle. But this is our straight consistency list that we've been tweaking for a while. Like, we started with one of the Japanese Blacephalon Turtonator list, and just started changing it up. I love the custom catchers. The custom catcher is great. The Greens exploration engine is great. Welders. As soon as we added the Wishful Batons against decks that don't Field Blower, it makes it so you only need a welder a couple times in game, especially paired with the Beast Rings. So this deck's been running super smooth for us. It basically steamrolls any GX deck as long as you don't get benched. So, you got Gardevoir Sylveon, you just try not to get GX attacked, and you start taking turn 2 tag team knockouts, or, just little things like that. Against Reshiram Charizard, you just start taking the 1 hits, and, any of the grass decks like Buzzmosa that's coming up, like, that's fine. But this deck is prone to the turn 1 let loose, which is one of its biggest issues. If you don't draw out of it turn 1, then it can kind of suck. But besides that, this has been running great. Any other matchups? Pikarom can be a little dicey if they play a Baton. So maybe we want a Field Blower in there. You can find the Field Blower with Greens. So a Field Blower would probably be a great addition to this. The issue that we've had with Pikarom, most of the Pikarom lists we've been testing against have Wishful Baton. So you take a the Pikarom attacks, puts 3 on the bench, Pikarom, you knock out the Pikarom, and then they take 2 Blacephalons. But if you can respond to that and not get benched, which I keep going back to, but that's usually the issue. So, like I said, maybe another ball card, but this list has been running great. Mulliganing a bunch of times is kind of annoying, but you always start what you need, so you always start Blacephalon. But that's about it for this video. Be sure to check back all week. We are going to be having a whole bunch of Unbroken Bonds videos coming at you. So remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. What are you most looking forward to in this set? And catch you later.